Victorian mansions dazzled with chandeliers, sweeping staircases, and drawing rooms filled with chatter. But beneath that elegance was a hidden world, a world of whispers, strict rules, back-breaking labour, and invisible lives. Welcome to the life of a Victorian servant. These men and women kept the upper-class world running, unseen and unheard. Their jobs were endless, their rights few, and their identities often erased behind uniforms and protocol. Let's step into their shoes, starting from the basement. Not all servants were equal. Victorian households had strict hierarchies even among the staff. At the top was the butler, managing the household's operations. Below him, the housekeeper controlled the female servants. Then came the cook, ladies' maids, valets, footmen, and dozens of maids, scullery girls and hallboys, some as young as 12. Your position determined your pay, your living quarters, and even who you were allowed to speak to. A lady's maid might earn respect, a scullery maid, not even eye contact. In many cases, their lives weren't just about work, they were about knowing their place and never stepping above it. The typical day began well before sunrise. The lowest-ranking servants, scullery maids and hallboys, were up by 4:30 a.m. They lit fires in every room, scrubbed chamber pots, hauled coal and polished boots, all before the family stirred. Cooks prepared elaborate breakfasts, maids swept halls, beat rugs, and dusted endlessly. The bell system rang constantly, every chime a new demand from above. Meals for servants were quick and separate, breaks were rare, and once the family went to bed, the night staff kept watch, reset the fires, and started preparing for the next day. Some servants worked 18-hour shifts, 6 or even 7 days a week. Privacy was a luxury. A single mistake could cost them their job and their home. Victorian servants lived under constant surveillance, not by cameras, but by the eyes of their employers and each other. Talking back, grounds for dismissal, appearing too friendly with guests, a scandal. There were books of etiquette specifically written for servants: how to walk, how to address the master, when to lower your gaze. Some employers banned laughter in the halls or required silence, unless spoken to. Servants were expected to be invisible, to slip through secret doors, back staircases, and servant passages to avoid disturbing their betters. Rules were enforced harshly, wages were docked. Dismissal meant not just losing your job, but your home, your references, and sometimes your future. Despite the hardship, many servants took pride in their roles. A good position in a respected household meant security at least more than a factory or a slum. For some, it was the only way out of rural poverty. Others, especially women, had few other options. But by the late 19th century, things began to shift. The rise of the middle class, industrialization, and domestic technologies like gas ovens and vacuum cleaners slowly reduced the need for large servant staffs. Still, for much of the Victorian era, servants outnumbered the upper class in cities like London, and their labour built the comfort, elegance, and wealth of an entire era, all while staying in the shadows. Their stories deserve more than silence. Life as a Victorian servant was exhausting, lonely, and full of unspoken rules, but these invisible hands kept the great homes of the era running like clockwork. Want more stories from history's hidden lives? Hit like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments, which servant job would you have survived, and which would break you.